The big petty car, and work continues on with the petty car. Actually, starting number 3. I actually got all the I want to say pistons on, braces, and they are going to be not movable. So it's easier just to glue everything in place, and all the wheels will be sturdy on there instead of having something move and where it'll fall off or anything like that. But anyway, we'll get it all glued together and continue on. But anyway, got those on, got the little, I want to call it wheel bracket. So I'm basically down to, I did step 5, which was getting the, what did we get here? Part 116, 17, got them on, got that on, and I had to do all 4 wheels, which, multi-part, basically start from there. Then you got to add the disc brake and the drum. But anyway, got that on there. And they're not glued down. I'm going to see how well they fit, and then I'll be able to get them on. But anyway, petty car is going to be a more of a weekend. It's just easier to do all the little sub-assemblies at one time, and then eventually we'll get it assembled. Anyway, that's just the way I do things. And some of it I'm going to probably pre-paint, but I probably won't. I'm probably going to wait till I get most of it all built before I start painting anything at all. So especially like tires, see, I got to paint the center, which I think is supposed to be maybe chrome or not. And I'll put just a little bit of a wash in here just to bring down the sheen of the chrome parts, and just makes it look less toy-like and more real. And then of course we got to paint the letters on the tire and all that good stuff. Anyway, so we're almost done with step 5. I need to put the wheels on, which I probably won't. I'll probably I'll probably leave them off for now. I'll probably put them on last, and then we'll go from there. Then we get to start the what are we stocking? The bottom part here. Anyway, we'll probably get to that tomorrow, and of course probably leaf springs. But anyway, that's where I stand on the big petty car. The dog, I did have to go in and clean up just a little bit of the bones. Not really a whole lot of flash, just basically a seam line. I did get the top of the bone here on. It's basically 2 pieces. I actually did I did break one little bone part, but I glued it back, so shouldn't be noticeable. And it did break. I guess it's just old brittle plastic, but I do know that that didn't really want to go in there, and I should have shaved off a little bit more of the plastic, but it popped. But anyway, it's glued on, ready to go. And so we got the right and left, so we're getting ready to try to get one side on the body, and then work on the organs, but I got to get the rest of the bones together. But I did, before I took a break, I did get the neck bone connected to the spine, and then more of the tailbone on. So that's all good to go. Basically, I just had to get it together and walk away, just so everything will dry and be very sturdy. But anyway, got a little more bone work to do, and then we can start doing the organs. The hearse. So I went in and started doing the trim work. I got basically the trim done here. I'm going to have to probably go ahead and paint it right in the middle. If you notice right there, it shows it. And I looked on a real car, and it actually has that silver too. So I got to paint that silver. Got the trim back here, and I started doing the trim on the side. It does look a little choppy because I did actually just one very light with a brush stroke on there. Need to do it twice just to get it more opaque. And then I started doing the sides of the rims there, or the sides of the car. And then basically just got to go around and excuse me, do the trim on this top here, and then of course do the other side. But anyway, door handles, we got that, and I just need to go back in with the brush and just do a little touch up, just a few areas that are I like to do a little bit of paint at a time and build it up. I don't like to do one big and have it opaque at one time. I like just to build it up, but that's just the way I do it. And we're going to take we're not going to have that name on there. We are going to make that say Myers. So to accomplish that, I went ahead and got Royal Models photo etch letters, and we're basically I'll just pop them out, Myers down here on the bottom, and we'll have that, and it should be right to scale for the Hearse here for 25th. I'm basically going to be able to just do one side. I won't be able to do two, so that's just the way it's just going to have to be, unless I can find another set of these. But anyway, we'll get that on there. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a piece wherever I got it. Let's do this piece of styrene, and then I'll put the letters on the styrene, and then I'll just attach it from behind on the glass back here, and we'll be good to go. But anyway, that's my game plan on that. So that'll be up next after I get the trim work painted. Just a slow process, and a lot of optimizer wearing, but anyway, we'll get that. And I always, and when I paint, I either like to start, painting a whole lot, or I like to, most of the time, I like to do a section and then stop, come back next day, do another little section, stop. It's more time consuming, but that way you're not just completely painting the whole thing all at one setting. But anyway, that is where I stand on the Hearse. The Ertl A. So I'm basically halfway done with the bottom of the saucer here, using the Creation decals, and I just worked my way. I got a few spots here, which is right around the phaser banks. If you can probably see it, where it's not really the best, and wherever I got Mr. Knife. Then you take Mr. Knife here with a sharper blade. This one's really dull, and I need to basically trim it through the panel lines, and then brush more solvent on there, and get that to sit flush. But anyway, that's mostly done with all water and a very soft paintbrush, but I need to add a little more setting solution just to get it to where it'll bite into the plastic. That's where I am on that. I did have a couple. There's going to be a couple spots, and these decals always do. They want to curl just a little bit. It's all right. What I'll do is I'll just go in with the airbrush and like a little light gray, and do a little shading on there, and it'll hide it. I mean, it won't be a whole lot of weathering, but it'll be just enough to just give it a little, I like to say, definition. But anyway, there is halfway of the saucer, and it's just I'll do a couple more probably tomorrow morning, and at least get about to there, and then we'll try to do one or two a day, and before you know it, we will have the decals on pretty soon. And I got to point out, because I thought I was going crazy, that right there says 81. There is no 81 on the Creation decal sheets. And I kept looking. I'm like, man, I'm losing my mind. I either didn't get it sent to me, or I missed the sheet, or I missed it somewhere. And it's actually 31 that goes on the bottom of the Ertl A. So just a FYI if you're actually doing those and see the 81. But anyway, that's a pretty funny story. That's pretty much what I got going on. I should have a shed update, and because we're going to talk about some of the Falcon Prize, a couple model kits, and what else we'll talk about. But anyway, that's what I've got going on there. We are doing decals on the Ertl A. Hearse getting a trim duty. More bone work on the Visible Dog, and the petty car is getting assembled. So that's what I've got going on today. So stay tuned for the next exciting episode.